Ni mafanzu naulizia ama nafungua roho.
Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm your queen of content, Trudy Kitui. Welcome to the best online TV show. And guys, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and press that notification bell because what's coming on your way, guys, I don't know if you're ready. And today I have someone amazing, someone that you guys have been looking forward to see on this channel. And in count of 3, 2, 1, he's here.
What's
How are
up my
you?
people? Wacha niharibu kwanza hapa. Ati mmekuwa mkisema mnanitaka. Wacha tutese basi.
Hebu tuanzie kwanza, kabla tuanze hata mambo mingi, tuanzie tu hapo kwa ugali sosa ka chorus.
Natafuta ufalme wa Mungu na utakatifu wake, na vitu vyote vile vizuri taongezewa kama ugali. Watu wanakaa wanjibi kama wewe wanakaa tu Sossa, lakini ni si unataka tuvuruge. Kaende.
Unasema niongezee ugali sosa? Ama unajaribu kumaanisha nini?
Nasema wewe naweza pea mtu kama Sossa.
Hakishwali.
Wewe unakaa naweza kupeana kama Sossa.
Anyway, it's fine. How are you doing?
I'm good.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, but I'm having fun. As you can see, I'm having fun. I'm happy with myself.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying life. I'm representing myself in this life. Yeah.
Kindly introduce yourself to my good people. Kuna wenye wanakuja kwenye umeingia YouTube jana, wengine leo. So, lazima tupige intro.
Okay, so sawa. So, Ingwe, let's settle that.
Yes.
All right? Ugali Sossa. Hii ni wrong number, sio namba ya mbinguni. Mulika mwizi na zingine. Yes. But rebrand, so it's good to set the records clear. Na hata wewe usipoenda na rieng na kupeana kama Sossa. Nitauliza nani ako ready anunue the main ugali, mimi nampea Sossa. Leopard King.
Okay.
Leopard King is the rebrand.
Before now we go to Leopard King.
Tutakusort. Yes. Kama ni Ingwe unataka tutakusort. Haina ngori.
Wacha tuanze huko kwa Ingwe.
Haina story so that venye watu wanaendelea kupiga kelele ati jamaa alienda wapi sijui nini. Many things, yes. Many reasons, but one of the reasons is a rebrand. Okay? The rebrand is intentional. Yes. Mi mwenyewe nilishusha nilijiondoa from the limelight. I was not taken out by lack of content. I was not taken out by a scandal. I was not taken out for being broke. I got depressed at some point, it is true. Okay. It is very true. I got depressed at some point and many other things happened, all right? And I made an intentional decision to withdraw myself from the limelight because I didn't think I was in a good place. I was not in a good place. Na niliona nikijichocha, I'm doing a disservice to myself. Kitu moja unafaa uelewe na say, okay, nawapenda cha ukweli, lakini lazima niwashe ukweli. Yes. One thing about fans, when your fans love you, they'll keep pushing you for more. Yes. They'll keep asking for more, and it's okay. It's kind of their right. All right? Yes. But then as they are pushing you, unafaa ujiulize, like, really? Is it in there? Is it in there? Na kama inakuja ikiwa exactly what you want to give out. So I honestly felt that I needed to just take a back seat na nijisort.
Maybe what was the main reason to why you decided to give yourself a break?
The main reason why I decided to give myself a break, to start with, before I went into depression, I began the process of rebranding. And there is no way I was going to successfully rebrand when everything that was old ilikuwa inatesa. I'm challenging you, go to my YouTube channel even right now. Utapata nyimbo zangu maybe kama 3. Na hata hizo 3 haziko kwa channel yangu. Yes. Niza okay, nilikuwa nataka kusema wadi ingine hapo, lakini mafanzo wanaweza nichukia nikiongea hivyo, but ni za watu wasumbufu tu wenye wameamua tu kukwamilia content yangu for the sake of it, you understand. They have no investment in the content, but they have posted, yeah, they have posted the whole song and they seem to be happy with it. But now I'm above that, so I can't start fighting with them. But every content that was within my shots to call, I pulled down all of my content intentionally. So it was a choice. Yeah.
So you felt that when you do that, you will be okay. Maybe is there something that you don't want to tell us? Because how can you just go and pull down your videos just like that?
But the videos I was pulling down were not scandals. They were not nudes. They were not gossip.
But we loved the songs. We used to listen to them.
Kuna msee aliaitwa ngoma fulani, nimesahau jina ya msanii. Kasema hii ngoma ni yangu. Did you ever hear something like that? Hii ngoma ni yangu. So, ni yangu. Ngoma ni yangu. You get my point. Okay, ni sawa, ni yetu na my fans because I make it for my fans. But it's exactly like I have told you. 2 reasons. One, I wanted to rebrand and I began the process of rebranding. That process was a bit slow, but I was intentional and I was pursuing it, and I continue to pursue that rebrand to date. That is one. Ukitaka kujua, hata ukinitafuta na Ingwe saa hizi, chances are very high. Hautanipata like the top name that is coming. If you search me by Leopard King, you'll get me. If you search me by Leopard King, because my YouTube channel is Leopard King, my Facebook is Leopard King, my Instagram is Leopard King, my ex, would you like to be my ex? my ex is Leopard King. You get my point. Yeah, so I'm Leopard King each and every place. The only place that has Ingwe is Twitter. Twitter ndio iko na Leopard King, Ingwe iko na majina zote. So rebrand is a big deal for me and I went for it, na nikasema ni hivyo kutakuwa. Hata cancel, when it was cancel, ikaamua ni Celtel, ikaenda hivyo vile iliamua ni Airtel, ikaamua ikapea Airtel, na ikabaki ni hivyo. So that's really what it is. But I told you that in the process of rebranding, along the way, there were also certain things that happened to me at a personal level. And I made a decision to say, sasa sitaendelea na hii process ya rebranding. You get my point? Yes. So if that had met me before nianze ku rebrand, maybe it would still have ended up the same way. So when people have right to their own opinion, and people have a right to interpret things the way they want to interpret it, na siwezi anza kupigana nao kwa sababu ya hiyo. Siwezi anza kuargue na watu, wewe wase sio hivi, ilikuwa hivi. Si kuna vitu zingine unakubaliana naye tu iende. Mafans wanaweza amua leo wakupatiane kwangu. Na umejua ni hivyo tu watarana hiyo story. And so do you really have to start fighting with that and wasting valuable time on that? So wakisema alisota, wakasema akaenda depression, wakasema muziki haikuwa inalipa, ama waseme sijui what. Sasa ni argue nikidu.
So nikuuliza, muziki ilikuwa inakulipa?
Boss, investments zangu are largely from music. And a lot of the things that I have done which I'm proud of, they're a product of music. So let me tell you, I know mmesikia mastori ati sijui the CMOs zile ati hakunanga pesa na makesi mingi. But that is not the only channel yenye iko na do. You get, kuna channels zenye zimekuwa zikitupatia do for as long as I can remember. Kuna channels like Skiza Tunes. So for example, I am one of the few artists who are successful to like have a product that worked very well with Skiza. Unakumbuka song yangu, hii ni wrong number, sio namba ya mbinguni, lakini Bwana Yesu ndiye njia ya uzima, alikufa msalabani kwa sababu yangu, nawe usilie, atakusaidia. So niliunda product ya Skiza Tune na wrong number. So imagine mpaka wa leo, like 10 years down the line, I still have loyal subscribers who still use wrong number, like their skiza tune, but nime-mention majina zao. So like there is a skiza tune tu inatumikanga tu na watu wanaitwa Eliud. Kuna skiza tune tu inatumikanga na watu wanaitwa Esther. Kuna skiza tune tu inatumika na watu wanaitwa Masi, yani wale watu wenye wanaweza patikana kwa kitabu cha uzima wa milele, si majina kama Trudy zenye haziko kwa Bible. Si majina kama Trudy zenye haziko kwa Bible. And I have been earning from such for a very long time investments za kitambo mpaka wa sasa. Now if you ask me ati muziki ilikuwa inalipa ama haikuwa inalipa, come on, unless you were born yesterday. I'm the king of roadshows, and I dare anyone to challenge me on that. I'm the king of roadshows. I have done the biggest, I think mimi na Ben Gidai. That's my assessment, and I will dare anybody to throw numbers at me, to throw figures at me, give me statistics. I am the king of roadshows. Mimi na Ben Gidai ndio king of roadshows. So whether ni products za Safaricom tulikuwa tuna promote, whether ni products za Equity Bank tulikuwa tuna promote with Royal Media Services na Safaricom, tulianza kitambo. Kwanza tulianza na katiba ya 2010, huko ndio tulianzianga ma roadshows. You get my point? With good money coming in like every other single day. You get what I'm saying? Kama ni events, I am one of those people who have been privileged to do events in a fashion that not many musicians do. So over and above my corporate events, so you'll find me in places like Safari Park doing Easter concerts. You'll find me in places like Nyayo Stadium entertaining in Standard Chartered Marathon, the aftermath of the marathon and stuff like that. But you will also find me in weddings. You will also find me in church. But mimi mapasi walikuwa wananipenda. And the reason why mapasi walikuwa wananipenda is because me being a pastor, there is a level of understanding that I have about ministry. So even my involvement in crusades, for example, these are the stories that pastors used to tell me, that msanii angekuja show and then akishamaliza kuperform amehype, saa ile anaondoka, the crowd goes home with him. So pasi unabaki hapo unahubiri peke yako. So I am one of those people who really understood the matrix of doing ministry, of doing crusade. And I would come, take the platform, like hype my people, even ask them like, tunaimba song gani, unataka tuimbe song gani, and what have you. And I would allow the pastors to preach and minister. In fact, I'm the one who used to invite the pastor, or who used to invite the preacher. I will even take the Bible and read the main scripture reading for the pastor, because pastors trust me as a pastor, and then they will minister. And sometimes hata wakimaliza kuminister, they will even call me to join them in the moment of ministering, and then sasa tunachafua concert after tumemaliza kuhudumu. And it used to work for me, and it gave me engagements za huduma and crusades like every other weekend. So if anybody asks me that did it really make money, they probably don't deserve an answer from me. Yeah.
Did. I have the answer. Okay, my next question is when you were before now you gave yourself a break. What is that one thing, a bad thing you experienced ukiwa kwa hiyo space, kwa music space, before now ujipatie break?
About music space?
Yes.
The answer I will give you will be annoying. It will be very irritating to you.
Okay.
And the only way you can validate my response is to watch my previous shows, because some of them are posted online by the platforms that interviewed me, especially mainstream media. And they used to ask me, what's your main challenge? What challenges have you experienced? What challenges do you experience as an artist? What challenges do you experience at family level, being a parent, and all that? And my answer was very consistent. I used to say that before me, no challenge exists. No challenge exists because for everything I always believe there is a solution. And it is beautiful that I had that kind of faith, because even when I had difficult moments that put me in depression, I was able to navigate my way out. And I have used that experience to help other people to get out of the pit. So honestly, all I find are just lessons and experiences. And throw at me the toughest imagination that you think, that will never be a challenge for me. It will be an experience. It will just be another mountain that I need to climb, or another mountain that I need to crack right in between and create a tunnel through it. Before me, no challenges exist. So I'm sorry if that answer is not satisfactory.
It's fine. Nimekuget. Now you being a legend in this music industry, I know umekaa chini ukatulia ukajipatia space na umekuwa ukiwatch music kule nje, watu wakitoa muziki. Kuna wengine wanakuja wanasema gospel ilikufa, music ya Kenya ibambi. Wewe unaweza zungumza nini kuhusiana na hilo?
Two things. One is to say that life is full of seasons. Life is full of seasons. And the only way I can express myself is to try and tag you along as my prop in this explanation. That there are days when you felt you're in control of your life and you're happening.
Yes.
There are days when you felt like there's no flavor, it's neither left nor right, but tuko tu.
Yes.
There are times you felt desperate but still said sisi ndio tuko. And there are times when you have sung, legendary songs like Usinipite. ama songs like Mungu najua hujanisahau. You get my point. So all those seasons are there. And I'll answer you by taking you back to the Bible. Even Jesus Christ did not have the best of moments all of his life. In fact, let me take this opportunity to just encourage somebody. If you feel that the season of your life doesn't seem to be adding up, you are a minister of the gospel, you're probably a pastor, and you feel like things are not adding up for you, you feel like maybe you are frustrated, you feel like, the math is not adding up. When you are a pastor and you talk about giving and tithing, people who don't give will have a lot to say, and those who give are quiet. But even if you experience such sad moments, I would like to let you know that there are times when even Jesus himself doubted whether he should trust the process. And I'm daring enough to use those words because Jesus asked his father, Eloi, Eloi, my father, why have you forsaken me? And while he was praying at the Mount of Gethsemane, he said, Father, this cup is a bit too heavy. Could we negotiate? Yeah. Is there an alternative to this? Is it possible for you to take it away? Like, is there another path? Is it possible for me to take another path? So if you're doubting yourself, if you're a musician and you're doubting your calling, if people around are saying that gospel is dead for whatever reason, even if it seems to be dead, no apologies from me. No, zero apologies from me. Jesus died and went to the grave believing that he is going to resurrect. But what did his disciples do? When he rose again, alipata Peter akiwa wapi? Where was he? Back to fishing. Back to fishing. It was not even a week down the line, not even a month the line. Yet upon that Peter, Jesus built the church. You understand? So I'm answering you, but I'm just rising to my level to say that if people thought that gospel was dead, I want to tell you there is nothing strange about feeling that way. If the artists felt like it was not happening, there is nothing strange. There's nothing wrong about feeling like that. If artists went to the booth and sincerely speaking they went with a clean heart, lakini ile mistari ilitoka ndio hiyo ilitoka, na wakati ilitoka watu wakasema upako haiko, it is okay to feel that way. Those who are blasting people and saying they are in need for this and they are in need for that, come on, people are paying prices just to make sure that the gospel is preached, and people are bearing bills, monetary bills, just to make sure that there is gospel anyway. So even if it does not meet your expectation, oh, member gani, you get my point. Sasa those who criticize and say that gospel imelala, hakuna kitu yenye wasanii wanafanya, including the pastors, and I am one, so I can take you. I'm at that level. I'm an ordained minister, a consecrated bishop, for that matter, and I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying that these conversations need to have. So you'll even find senior clergymen, pastors, bishops, and reverends trying to chastise musicians and saying this and that and this and that. How many of them did you invite to your church to give them a platform, and then while you're having a cup of tea, tell them that you have a good ministry and we are looking up to you, and as a young man, as a young lady who is being used of God, we have certain expectations. We are praying for you that you produce this kind of music. Potentially take your 3,000 and say, I know a song costs 10, 15,000. I may not give you the 15, lakini hii 3,000 tu near the next song. And when you produce the next song, make sure you give me this quality of music and make sure you give me this quality of gospel. Hata nipatie kavas tu kenye kanani inspire nikitoka church yako niende nako kavas nika to me. So the ones who are making the noise the most are doing the least to build the kingdom. They are doing the least to build those musicians. Those musicians, some of them, yes, may have rebelled out of church, but some of them have sat in churches and never gotten the recognition that they possibly would have used to build themselves. What did they do? They decided to carry the talent and the gift that they have outside of the walls of the church. And while they were not being properly nourished, they produced what they have. How many of the pastors were willing, because that is what mentorship is all about. Mentorship is not really about what the young fellows are doing. No, it is the intentionality of the senior one. It is the intentionality of the senior one to find a way as a father. If a son walks away from home, anaweza rudi kama prodigal son, but the father can also make the effort and say, come, let me buy you a cup of tea. And say, hata sina story mob leo, I just wanted you to share this cup of tea. I just wanted you to feel loved, to feel supported, and to know that you have me. Next time you make a call, that guy will come. And when he comes, you can tell him you're doing a good job. I like your music. I like your new version of music, your new branding, and all that. I have a little concern about this. I'm not telling you what to do, but just think about it.
Amazing.
I think that's my answer to that question.
Nice. Now let's talk about your songs. Hizi songs zako ni noma. Yaani ukifuatilia Ugali Sossa hizo zote, ni nini ilikuwa inakuinspire kurelease hizi songs zote? And also, hebu tuelezee tu message yako ilikuwa gani kupass kwa message ulikuwa unataka kupass kwa watu?
Okay. I used to work at Safaricom in the customer management department. And one of my workmates was my college mate at the university. And when it was she, when she watched my music on TV, she told her friend, this guy was my college mate, we were with him in campus. And then the friend akamuuliza, haya. So, hey, what is it? You mean that guy has been to university? And so there are a lot of people out there, when I sing mziki ya Waluya, Ugali na boda boda na, maisha ya hustler. Maybe I'm the real hustler here. you get the point? Yes. Maybe I'm the epitome. I'm the epitome of the hustler nation. Maybe I'm the epitome of the hustler people and the hustler nation as a celebrity. So, I mean, okay, I'm not saying anything. The point is that everything I have done around my music was intentional. My branding of my music was intentional. So I made a choice to do comic gospel music. And to date, I call myself the king of comic gospel. And there's a reason behind that. And when I call myself the king of comic gospel, I also say it with authority. The way I say it, I consider myself the king of roadshows because I have done roadshows for every other media station and for every other company. Kama ni ya Mkate, I've done roadshows for Nakada. I've done my own roadshows. If you ever came across a Hewasafi tour, I've done roadshows sustaining 10 days of roadshows in 5 different counties promoting my signed artists. Yeah, the Hewasafi tour, I'll show you that. And so, when I call myself king of comic gospel music, it is because I really am. And the music that I have made was inspired to be comic. It was intentionally made to be comic. And I still intend to do that. I may diversify a little bit, just to make sure I address like the total setting of my giftings. I'm a praise and worship guy, just so you know. And people don't know that part of me. And I feel now that I am aging, my friend, see at least tunitoe kamoja mbili tatu, you get. But the comic music will sustain. So how do you make your music was your question. I intentionally chose it to be comic music. And the reason was that the topics and the subjects that I discuss, my discourse is so deep. The veracity of the content that I discuss, ulipata English nini? So I'm kidding. But my point is that ile maneno mi ubonga, ile story mimi ubonga, it's deep stuff. Na hii maisha ni ngumu, economy ngumu, mafuriko ngumu, uchumi ngumu, character development ngumu.
Ushaipigwa character development?
Nitajibu, wacha nimalize kujibu hii. So, I felt that because my message is deep, seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these other things shall be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. Message ngumu. Talking about righteousness. Nikikwambia nataka sasa tuanze kuzungumzia righteousness na utakatifu wa Mungu, utanipea, afu nikwambie nipe dakika zile tunaweza tumia kuzungumza hiyo, utanipea ngapi?
20.
Nikikwambia nataka 2 hours, utanipea?
Sitakupa tu. Lakini ni mingi.
Exactly my point. So for that reason, I felt I needed to put some icing on my message. And so I needed to do a little bit of comic so that I make it easy for people to understand, to consume, and to relate with my message. So sijui kama nimekujibu.
Umeijibu. Heartbreak jibu. Sijasahau. Anyway, acha like you unaglow. Sijui niseme aje. Wenyewe unasema story ya depression yenyewe umesema ilikuwa, but right now you see yourself, mwili iko sawa, unaglow. Siri ni gani? Ama ni diet ndo?
Ni mafanzo alikutuma uliza hiyo. Ni mafanzo alikutuma ama nilikuwa nauliza swali. Nilikuwa nauliza swali sijamaliza. Ni mafanzo nauliza ama unafungua roho. You want some? Come get some from the show stop Love and King.
Ametake over show yangu, amesema wacha. It's me. Nauliza kwa niaba ya mafans.
Maybe ni jeans. Maybe.
Okay.
Just maybe. Maybe it's just my swag. I mean, life is cool. I choose to be cool. Yeah, so but it's good to take care of yourself. Smile, laugh, eat well, be healthy, have enough sleep. The only thing I've not done, but I'm now doing it. Just sasa kama unasema ninaweza, ninatesa. Sasa nitaingia gym, nitoe 1 pack, nieke 6. Nieke gapi? Nieke 6. Utawezana?
Una plan kuingia gym?
Utawezana? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Utawezana?
Right now,
Uliitisha photo ndio hiyo.
let's now talk about your new rebranding sasa. Tueleze now, what should you expect from you?
Okay, what to expect in my rebrand is to represent my age. To represent my age means that I've eaten some salt. Nimekula chumvi. True, come on, Trudy. Trudy, let's not fake it. You've seen my family. You've met my family. You met my family.
That's why nimekuambia kwani siri ni gani, because when I look at your family na mwenye familia mnakaa the same, ni kama you brothers and sisters. I'm like I guys, nimeuliza swali juu mimi nimeona familia yake, so niko like I huyu ni baba ya hawa kweli ama ni brother hao? Sasa nashangaa.
My father is 80
Okay.
as of the 31st of March 2024. And if you see me with my father, you will think I'm with my elder brother. So when I said at the beginning, maybe it's genes, just maybe, I was being genuine. Maybe it's just
Kukuuliza how old
genes.
are you? Wacha
How old I am, I can throw it out there, no big deal. I'm 44.
oh, wow, hiyo ni jeans. Hizo jeans ndizo zinakuweka hivyo.
Yeah, I'm 44. I'm 44. I'm not afraid to say that. So I hope I qualify my statement when I say that I'm representing my age. What does it mean to represent my age? I am in a stage in my life where I am now more driven by both purpose and legacy.
Yes.
So initially, I was chasing purpose. Now I am chasing both purpose and legacy. So I am solidly making a decision. What do I want to be remembered for as my biggest impact? And my biggest impact is not just the memory of my music and my compositions, but now how I have been able to directly influence other individuals as a mentor. How many people have I been able to position so that they can rise on the premise of my platform to continue with the good works that I believe I have been doing? You get my point? So, in this rebrand, my music is gonna diversify. My music has been around family largely, but I'm going to do a little bit more of that while now trying to support the young generation. So some of my emphasis have to do with the ages of my children. So I'm really big on high schools and not high school music. It's part of my program. I call it School Banger. So if you check my YouTube channel, Leopard King, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Leopard King, and my TV platform is called Leopard King Flix. So it is a content creation platform. And the intention here is to give a variety of content. So I want to go to high school. I use the platform of music, but music is a beginning point. After the music, I want to help the young fellas to find purpose, to find vision. I want to help the young fellows to heal their personal challenges. I want to help parents to be able to raise and groom teenagers. I want to help parents to find a way to support their children, because there are a lot of young people, according to me, there are a lot of young people who are struggling with a number of issues, and their parents are not well equipped to support them for the simple reason that their parents were raised differently than how they have raised their own children, and so there are gaps. They don't feel like they feel like they don't understand the Gen Z, but they also don't know what to do. So a little bit of what I'm trying to do, I have a mentorship club. I have a Leopard King Royal Mentorship Club, and it's a high school program. So if you check my social media pages, you'll find me putting word out there that I spend quality time spend about 4 to 5 sessions with young people in high school. I help them to discover themselves, self-discovery, self-awareness. After discovering that, I help to identify if there are any bottlenecks that are withholding them from experiencing and exploiting their full potential, or they are finding life to be tasteless because of challenges, and the challenges are many. It's peer pressure, it is separation and divorce among their parents, it is going to schools where people can afford a lot and you can't afford a lot, but your parents are doing their best to put you there. It is bullying, it is drug and substance abuse. Those are the issues that are bothering the young people. It is handling social media, and I help them to heal from those kind of traumas. And then I also help them to find purpose first, and then we cast a vision that serves that purpose, and then we do life goals, which is the immediate life goals when they're in school, the long the medium term goals, which are usually mostly pursuit of career, and the long term goals. So that's what I'm helping young people to do, and I feel that that angle of mentorship largely represents what I want to be remembered for, more than music, as much as I will also use my music to help build the platform of mentorship. So I want to go to high schools, and a lot of musicians do that. But my objective is not to go attend a Christian union and just have some music. No. So I'm doing that. I'm also doing talent search among young people. So it is both in school and outwardly. And expect me to do reality shows. Expect me to do reality shows not so long from now. In the past 3 weeks, actually the past 1 month, if you check my social media handle, I've been advertising a lot. So I've advertised for 2 administrative assistants. Now I have two in-house video producers and editors. Now I have an in-house sound engineer. I've had one before, but when COVID came, like I toned that down, and I'm putting in place just a team that is supposed to work with me, because I'm looking forward to a reality TV show. But the reality TV show is not necessarily centered around me. I'm bringing in creatives. So I'm bringing in artists, I'm bringing in dancers, I'm bringing in poets, I'm bringing in comedians, and I want to create a reality show around them. But what is different about my show and what is different about my content is that not only do I want to mentor these people about their music and their creative art, I want to mentor them based on their personal lives. There are people that I have reached out to, I have spoken to, for simple reasons, and I hope that will culminate the difference that I am bringing and what the rebrand is all about. I believe that was the question, and I've not digressed. So there are people who have great talent and who have great potential. Who will tell you, or who will give you the evidence that I have reached out to them at a personal level? We may not have made progress, but there is something I see in them which I believe that if the little knowledge that I have, and my knowledge is because, one, I have been a minister of the gospel, so I understand a little bit of people issues, one. Number two is that I have a little experience as a creative. There is an experience that I have gained. You can't just trash that experience away on any account whatsoever. But two, I am also an accomplished psychologist. I'm a clinical psychologist who has studied clinical psychology and continue to study clinical psychology. I'm currently doing a master's in clinical psychology at Daystar University. So I am speaking with a tripartite angle, that I'm a creative myself with experience, I am a minister of the gospel who understands people issues, and I'm also a professional, a psychologist. You understand? So that put together gives me a perspective and an angle that I believe can be able to help a lot of creatives to maximize their potential and not to burn out on account of some bottlenecks that they may either not even be aware of, or they may be in places and in situations they don't understand why they are there in the first place and how to get out of that. If you talk to Pose, he will tell you that there is a message I've tried to communicate to him. I am sure bado hajaielewa. You get my point? I'm sure kwamba bado hajaielewa, because angekuwa ameielewa, by now he would have come back to me to say, hey bro, I think ile kitu ulikuwa unasema, I want to hear more. What is that? But this is what I told Pose. Willie Paul, he's my friend. I see and I hear people, say all manner of stuff and all that. But I can tell you for a fact that when I look at Pose as an individual, I see possibly the biggest talent that Kenya has to offer. And I'm an artist. So if I'm giving him those kind of ratings, you could give me the benefit of doubt. I consider him as the single most biggest talent that Kenya has to offer. He may not necessarily be the biggest ranking. He may not necessarily be the biggest corporate figure like Bahati or Kina Sauti Sol and all that. But I can tell you for a fact that he is the biggest talent that we have, according to me, according to my perspective. That is somebody who can produce and deliver more than Diamond. And I really mean it. And this is what I told him. And if Willie would go back to my message that I sent him and be humble enough to ask, bro, ulikuwa unasema ama ulikuwa unamaanisha, he would understand. But I can give a hint right now. Whitney Houston, biggest vocalist ever in the history of life. There is a background of her life that, speaking as a psychologist, contributed to her personal challenges, ending up all the way to drug abuse and how she ended her life. But there is a background of her life which I honestly feel and honestly believe that if there were people who, when they understood her star and her talent, did not first see the money that could be created out of her, but tried to build her and support her and help heal her personal issues before putting her in the limelight, her ending would have been different. I'll throw names at you. R. Kelly, still serving sentence. Go check her childhood trauma, go check her background. And some of these figures I'm talking about are figures that are basically blacks, okay? So if you are in the white dominated environment, you know that racism is not one of those things that somebody needs to explain to you. It is a given. You get my point? Yeah. I will bring you close, very close, and I'll bring you back to gospel. I'll give you my idol, Bishop Pastor Donnie McClacken. He's my personal idol. But there is evidence online with him talking about his story, talking about his childhood, talking about how he was molested, sexually molested as a young growing boy, and how that has affected his life until at some point he says, these are not my words, and that footage is available for validation. When he now talks about his personal struggles with relationships, that in some way continues to contribute in how he found himself disoriented about relationships, and he talks about his struggles with men and homosexuality, and he also talks about his struggles even relating in a marriage setup. And what is his conclusion? When all these things don't seem to be adding up and don't seem to be working for him, he chooses to hide in music, where the world, or where his world seems to be, like all knit together. So my point here is that there are a lot of things that if they are not holding back the life of an individual, they will continue to hold back those individuals, whether they like it or not, until somebody offers themselves to give them support so that they find help, or if they are willing to say, hey, something doesn't seem to be working right here and I need help. A lot of things that you see happening around people's lives, and the art that they are doing and the drama that they are creating and the chaos that they are creating, a lot of it is not because somebody sat down and said, now I want to do this ndio niweze kutesa. A lot of it are things that people think they're having a good time, but even they don't have a proper explanation as to what is going on around them. And so that is what I bring to the table as a rebrand. So I want to go back to raw talent. I want to do talent search. I want to find individuals, bring them into my academy, make them my mentees, make them join my elite club of the Leopard King Royal Mentees as prince and princesses. You get my point? And I want to walk this journey with them. I want to understand where they're coming from. I want to understand their struggles. I have great artists that I have had an opportunity to speak with and to interview, the likes of Kizobi. You know him? And we have had a chance to discuss with him, and he has told me a part of his life that I believe nobody knows exists. He has told me a part of his story, his near death experiences, his identity struggles, the search for his father, which to date he has never been able to, like to put to rest. Losing his mother at a very tender age, the kind of trauma that he was subjected to, nobody may have ever seen that, but he has burns on his body, literal burns. He has literal burns on his hand, burns that were subjected to him ili akufe, but God preserved him. Now, those pains, until they are told and until the individual is helped to heal, you find them struggling and their star being hindered. Ukiambiwa ati hauna nyota, si ati hauna nyota, hapana, ni nyota tu imefunikwa, haina nafasi ya kung'aa. So mtu asikwambie kwamba una nyota, no, inaweza kuwa tu imefunikwa na ihudi, haionekani. You get, there are things, yeah, kila mtu ako na nyota yake bwana. So the point here is that nyota yako inaweza kuwa imezingirwa na blanketi zenye zinafaa zitolewe, and that is what I bring to the table. And when I spoke to the pastors and said that probably if you're doing ministry and your ministry doesn't seem to be adding up, don't be discouraged. I mean, I've been there. I brought down the curtains of my church ministry, just so you know. And I'm comfortable to talk about it. I brought down the curtains of my church ministry for reasons best known to me. And I didn't give up on my ministry. I think God needed me to have a much better understanding of what I am doing and why I am doing what I am doing. Because the things that I have just told you, those are the struggles of individuals in their homes. Those are the struggles of students in schools. Those are struggles of husbands and wives in their houses. Those are the struggles of parents with their children. You get my point? And I believe that now, even when I begin to do church ministry again, because I don't fail. I don't. It's never part of me. I don't fail. I will transition from this life successful. I will transition from this life looking back and saying, I know that whoever will receive me the other end will tell me, welcome, thou good and faithful servant. So what is my point? My point is that any pitfalls that you may go through, any pitfalls that you may experience, let them never bring you down. Let them never make you feel or think that you are worthless. I was once depressed, and there is a time I actually thought my life was worth nothing. There's a time I felt I was really worth nothing because technically I had lost everything that defined me, or at least the areas that define my life were struggling. I was struggling in my personal family. You ask me about heartbreak, I wouldn't call that heartbreak. We just had our own struggles that we couldn't put to rest. I had challenges with my own parents because my parents had their own struggles. They are officially divorced, and I'm that kid. Well, every other kid of theirs has their own opinion of how they relate with them. So I'll tell mine. Nobody will tell mine. So I believe that I am that kid who is at the center of their lives, where I believe that my father, to a large extent, depends on me and relies on me, and whereby I know that my mother, even today, and it is a fact that my mother's life largely relies and depends on me. So as the child who is at the center of the affairs of his parents, their struggles watered down on me. And that was the beginning of my challenges. Uh, because at the height of their struggles, I had just left here, and I'd gone to the US. And I'd left them in a certain frame of mind. In fact, my father had been sick for a very long period of time, and I housed him in my house right here. I housed him for about a month, taking care of him and getting him treated. And then when he improved, I took him back home, and we began a lot of ideas around family and all that. And we had certain things that we agreed on. Then I traveled. I went to the US. Now, the things I left behind could not hold, and it destabilized me, and I had to abandon my trip and come back.
After how long?
3 months. I had to come back. When I came back, I moved from the frying pan to the fire. Whatever I thought I was coming to solve, I screwed it up. Things did not go my way. And I think because I was stressed, first of all, I was emotionally stressed while away. And now when I came, whatever I thought I was coming to solve now became worse. And my depression came from that. It was not from any other thing. My depression came straight from there. Because in the process, I now lost a friend. I lost my relationship with my father, with whom we are close confidants and close friends. Now we were able to navigate that journey. And so when it was not working well with my father, it affected me. I had my own challenges in my own household. So I think I did not consider myself as healthy enough to even lead a church congregation. And the few succession mechanisms that I put in place were not strong enough. My shoes were too big to fill. And so I had to choose me. Yeah. I had to choose me. And that's really how it went. So I hope this settles some of your curiosities. And that is how it went. And then I went into that long and deep journey. And so even as I was withdrawing from church ministry, I also withdrew from the public because I didn't think I was emotionally and mentally healthy to pour my heart to the people. Not many people think that is the way to go, but those are my choices, and I believe they paid off because here I am now. Yeah. Back and stronger, bigger and better, more focused, more experienced, more informed, more empowered, more equipped, and more educated.
This interview. Hey. Anyway, before I wind up, why the name leopard? I'm curious to know, why did you choose this?
Ingwe is the same as leopard.
Yes, why?
It's a cultural identity. I am Afrocentric. I love my African identity. It is people who run away from their African identity, or people who are ashamed of their African identity, is because a combination of both the colonial mentality and even the so-called Christian stroke European mentality worked so hard to strip us off of our identity, and in the process has damaged our self-esteem than to build us. So I'm very big on African identity, and I consider myself as a king, an African king for that matter. And if you wanted a more deeper and intellectual conversation, I will take you to the Bible and qualify the place of kings in the Bible. That even in the eternity of it, the book of Revelation says that the the kings will bring the glory of their nations in to the new Jerusalem. You get my point. So leopard or Ingwe, which mean the same, is a cultural identity. I am Luya, proudly Luya. People say I'm Tanzanian. Others say I'm Congolese, that swag yangu inakaa tu ki-Congolese. I don't know why. Others say I'm Nigerian, but I am Kenyan from Western Kenya, and I am Maluya. Endo Maluya, Horla Kakamega, Ingoze. Umtamanyini lichena.
Hebu fafanua kitu umesema.
Hiyo si yako, ni ya mafans. So the point here is that in my place, leopards are the most fierce animal. It is the toughest animal. People say, is it not the lion? There are no lions in my place. When people say that the lion is the king of the jungle, personally, I think it's a Western misconception. I believe that, particularly in Africa, royalty is represented by the leopard. I can take you to West Africa. The kings and the Ingwes, they adorn themselves in the leopard print. I'll take you to South Africa, and all the leaders and the warriors, even Kina Jacob Zuma, they adorn themselves in leopard print. If I take you to Central Africa, whether you're talking about Patrice Lumumba, whether you're talking about Mobutu Sese Seko, they adorned themselves. Even their hat, their cap, it was leopard print. And hapa kina King Mswati, kuja hapa hata Kenya, the founding president of Kenya, kina Kenyatta, they adorned themselves in the leopard print. So I honestly believe that the leopard represents royalty. And from an African perspective, royalty is best represented and adorned through the leopard print. And that is the identity of my people. Even AFC Leopards, the football club, it is the same identity. You know, AFC Leopards, there's the history comes from Luyaland. You get my point? And their identity with the leopard, it's really identifying with the very best. So it is royalty at its best. It's royalty galore. It is positioning yourself with the mindset that you are the epitome and the definition of greatness.
And so without kusahau hii story, Daddy Owen, nafikisha message yako. Daddy Owen alinituma akaniambia, Trudy, you have to look for this guy and do an interview with him. Man Ingwe na
Papa Fololo.
Papa Fololo. Kwani nyinyi mabeshte?
Papa Fololo is my guy. He's my guy. Yeah, aliingia game mapema. Yeah. And I remember nikiwa KU. There's a time nilikuwa najaribu kuunda event hapo Utalii House. Hapo ndio tulianza kubond na tulianza kubond na. He's a good guy. He's a very grounded guy. Tumekuwa mabeste Nairobi na si ni mabeste pia, like mtaani hata, you know, before his dad passed, you know, tulikuwa tumepata tu opportunities kidogo huko za mtaani, na Raf. And also a big shout out to Raf. You know, people love to give people their flowers when they are lying in the coffin. Mimi nilianza kuimba kitambo sana. By 2002 I already had an album. I was in campus. It was a group album. But my single career, nilianza, first of all, nilianza 2005, 2006, 2008, Raf akanipatia kolabo kwa song yangu ya Yesu ni Beste. Nasikia akasema, raundi hii eri puta kufe lakini mizigo zifika. That's Rafton. And then after that, nika produce Ugali Sossa. It's important to say that Ugali Sossa was produced at Lampstand. BCB was the guy behind the keys, but it was produced at Lampstand. And nikona produce Ugali Sossa, mi nilikuwa naita Ugali Sauce. So Owen alikuwa bado kwa na ujinga anaishi kwa brother yake. So akapitia hapo akaisikia. Kaniambia Maringwe niachele ujinga. Hiyo ita hiyo kitu Ugali Sossa, acha kusema Ugali Sauce. Hiyo ni kizungu kwa Kiswahili. Ita Ugali Sossa. So actually the person who branded Ugali Sossa yani ikatoshea kwa sahani, that was Owen. And he's my guy. He's my guy. Owen is my guy. Yeah. So unasema, what did he say?
Alisema nikutafute.
Alibonga mbaya.
Ai, Owen haezi bonga mbaya. Just nikikuuliza kwani you guys are good friends, cause kuna vile ni kama anakujua sana.
You know, we have a good vibe.
Okay.
What did he tell you? I want to know that.
He said that I should look for you and do an interview with you.
Why?
You will give me a very nice exclusive that watu hawajawahi sikia. And exactly what you've just done right now.
Okay, so thank you, Papa, thank you so much for giving me such credits. I really appreciate. I also appreciate you what you're doing with your Malaika, with your Malaika awards, and the big things that you're doing. And Owen has been a pace setter. Owen has been a pace setter in this industry. In fact, kufikia saizi I think like bado tunajaribu kumit zile ratings zenye Owen alitufatia, in some way. So yeah, my salute to him. Na ukikutana naye mwambie nimesema big up.
Sawa. Thank you so much, Owen, and nitafikisha hiyo salamu. Amazing, amazing. I hope you guys have enjoyed the interview. And before we end this interview, just talk to your fans now that you are back. Watu walikuwa guy, si watu wameulizia mani Ingwe. Yani sijui ni nini, but I'm so happy that he's here. Mumesikia, he's really given me enough time, enough explanation. Amejibu maswali, hata kama tuko na zingine mingi tutamtafuta tena. So talk to them, your parting shot to your fans.
Lazima nijishikie mic. Yeah, what's up, my people? It is Leopard King, the show stopper. First of all, asanteni sana kunitafuta. Hiyo inamaanisha ya kwamba upendo yetu haikuwa ya 40, ilikuwa ya 30. Ilikuwa ya 30. 30 ilikuwa ya upendo wa 30. Kiswahili sanifu, Kiswahili mufti. Upendo wa 30. So upendo wetu haukuwa wa 40, haukuwa wa 50, ulikuwa wa 30. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the support that you've given me. I would like to request you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Leopard King. My Facebook is Leopard King. Instagram is Leopard King. TikTok, mahali penye nimeambiwa tumetesa mpaka tukararua dunia katikati. Mpaka acha nisimeke joke ya mafuriko cause people are suffering, mpaka ikapasua dunia katikati kabisa. Kwa TikTok tukatesa, tukachoma, ikachomeka mpaka jivu ikatulia. Ni Leopard King Man Ingwe. Please subscribe. Si basi nijue kwamba mnanipenda. Kama ni mziki unakam, mziki uko hapo kwenye YouTube channel yangu. There are a lot of new inspirational pieces of music that I have released in the recent past, and I promise you, jumu menitafuta paka mkanitoa kwa shimo, aki mpaka mkaniita ati mtoto mpotevu. Lazima nitaangusha moja. Sijui niangusha moja mtoto mpotevu. Sasa jume nipea hii idea ilikuwa yangu, lakini wewe ndio wa kwanza kuiendorse. Sini kweli. Idea ilikuwa yangu, lakini wewe ndio wa kwanza kuiendorse. Yani uweze tu kuringa tu na mafans na hii clip. Make sure hii clip isipotee. Kuambie I told you that when he thought about it, I said, by the way, fanya hiyo kitu. Fanya hiyo kitu, mtoto mpotevu. So dropping very soon. Mtoto mpotevu, Leopard King loading, coming. But expect big things. Kama we ni msanii, kaa karibu sana, because I'll be doing a talent search. Na talent search yangu sio kama hizo talent search zingine mnasikia.